It is a world of superheroes and villains, larger-than-life characters and make-believe violence. But this weekend, something went horribly wrong in the carefully crafted world of professional wrestling. As thousands of fans watched, one of the sport's most popular stars, Owen Hart, died during a high-flying entrance into the ring. The head of the World Wrestling Federation has suggested that Hart may have accidentally hit the quick-release button on his body harness, plunging 50 feet to his death. We're going to talk with Hart's family, including his widow. But first, national correspondent Don Daler looks at his tragic death and the growth industry of professional wrestling that surrounds it.
Owen Hart was killed doing a stunt he'd done before, making a spectacular entrance in a business that demands spectacle.
This is not a part of the entertainment here tonight. This is as real can be here.
That word real is not usually associated with professional wrestling, but the injuries are real and common. And critics say the risks have increased thanks to competition outside the ring. Competition between wrestling's two mortal enemies, Ted Turner's World Championship Wrestling and Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation. Dave Meltzer, writer for the Pro Wrestling Observer, says the stakes are raised for bigger, flashier productions.
Competition has gotten completely out of control, and that's, because everyone just looks at the Monday night ratings is all they look at. We've seen a lot of really bad human costs. This one I would consider more of a fluke accident.
The WWF and the WCW are in a pitched battle for the hearts and minds of an estimated 35 million fans who watch 15 hours of wrestling each week. It was McMahon who brought wrestling back from the brink of kitsch to a $500 million a year industry through a combination of sex, rock music, outrageous characters, and intricate soap opera-like storylines. The formula has been a gigantic success. WWF's Monday Night Show regularly challenges Monday Night Football for dominance among young male viewers and is a global phenomenon, themed to 120 countries in 11 languages. The main message, however, requires no translation. Might makes right. Into this world of fans and fantasy was born Owen Hart, youngest of a wrestling dynasty, the Hart family of Canada. Even though their father, Stu, is considered a legend in the business, it's a business his wife, Helen, never had much stomach for.
When we were married, I said to Stu, how long will we be in this business? He said, about 2 years. So 20 years later, I said, Stu, we're still in this. I can't like it. I didn't then, and it's worse now than ever.
Instead, all 6 of the Hart boys are wrestlers, and all 6 of the Hart girls married wrestlers.
Joining us now are Owen Hart's parents, Stu and Helen Hart, his wife, Martha Hart, and his brother, Bret Hart, all from their home in Calgary, Canada. I thank all of you for joining us, and obviously we all send condolences to the family. Martha, how are you all doing?
As best as can be expected at this time.
Do you know, Martha, what went wrong Sunday night?
No, I actually don't know all the details, and we're still trying to gather all the facts together, and so, but regardless, the end result is the same, so.
Bret, I gather the police are saying that the cable didn't break. That raises 2 possibilities here, either that the harness wasn't properly connected as he lowered from the roof of the Kemper Arena, or that he may, as some now have suggested, actually accidentally triggered the separation mechanism.
Well, I think I don't know what exactly happened. I don't think anybody knows, but under the worst circumstances, there should have been some kind of a safety cable. And I think at least, it's my understanding that there should have been maybe at least 2, maybe 3 of them. And, I think what you have to understand is that we're professional wrestlers. We take our falls on the mat inside the ring. I was never a stunt man, and my brother Owen was never a stunt man, and he never should have been put in a situation where he was up on the top of a ceiling of an arena to go into the ring.
This is of course, a scripted sport, Brad, and the stunts and the violence and the shock value escalates all the time. Are wrestlers pushed to do things that they don't feel comfortable doing?
Absolutely. I think you know, I haven't been in the WWF for a long time, but I was always, you always sort of get pushed into doing things that maybe you're a little uncomfortable with, and sometimes you do that yourself. I can't see this as a situation where Owen was, you know, this idea was taken to him and was suggested that he come out of the ceiling. And I know there was a bit of a discomfort about the danger in it, but somehow over the weekend he got sort of talked into doing it again.
Martha,
he was very uneasy about it.
Martha, had he talked about discomfort with the increasing complexity of the stunts that wrestlers are asked to do?
Well, yes, we did discuss this this stunt, and you know, I did voice that I wasn't comfortable with it and that I thought it wasn't safe, and I did say that there should definitely be safety nets and whatnot, and he was also concerned about it, and rightly so. And you know, he never liked the format of the wrestling business the way it was going, and he was just trying to fit in as best as he could and do what he could. So.
What do you mean by feeling uncomfortable with the way it was going?
Well, he was just a solid wrestler, and he wasn't into all the sex and violence and everything that it was promoting, and he was against that, and he was openly against it. He always said he was, and he always said that, you know, it was definitely not appropriate for children, and he was always against anything that was promoting bad things and only for things that were promoting good things. And you know, he felt wrestlers should be role models for kids and not you know, promoting all these bad things and this ugly side of the world, I suppose.
Stu Hart, Mr. Hart, you're, as we mentioned, your family is something of a wrestling legend, and you have been in wrestling for years. What do you hope comes from this? Do you think there'll be any reform of the game after this?
Dad.
Mr. Hart, can you hear me? Stu Hart's a
Dad,
little hard of hearing, and maybe we can't get through. I was just asking if you think there'll be any changes in wrestling because of your son's death.
Well, we'd hope so anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear you right now.
That's all right. I know he has a little hearing problem. Do you think there will be, Bret?
Do I think, can you ask me the question again?
If there'll be any changes in wrestling because of this?
I certainly hope so. You know, I think, you know, this family, our family, was always a family that prided themselves on the wrestling as being a fun thing to do. And it was fun to have great matches and wrestle with great wrestlers. And we're not so dead against the wrestling business. What we are disappointed in is in the sort of the drastic turn that wrestling's taken in the last 2 years. And it's a shame that, you know, the fans have sort of become wild dogs that sort of want more and more and more all the time.
It was a tragic accident, and we do send condolences. Martha, all the best to you and to your 2 kids and to the rest of the family.
Thank you.
Thank you.